When hope is gone, undo this lock and send me forth on a moonlit walk. Release restraint level 0.
Hey kids, wanna see a dead body?
Hi guys, this is the Void of the Ravenclaw. Welcome back to another fanfiction story. Subscribe and like if you like this content, and comment down below if you have any questions about this story. I'll try to answer as fast as I can. Now that the small plug-in is done, let's continue where we last left off in this story, where Izuku and Connor Kent are about to continue their battle after their stare down with each other while in their fighting stances, well, their own fighting stances, basically. They both jump towards each other, breaking the ground underneath them. Connor land a right strike across the right side of Izuku's face. The force of the impact from Superboy made a small tremor that would have shattered any glass in the area of their battle. Luckily for them, they're in a man-made wasteland structure. Izuku lands a strike across Superboy's face with equal power, as this happened at the same time when Superboy punched Izuku. Connor immediately tried to land a uppercut punch, only for Izuku to slap his fist away and elbow Connor in the face, only for Connor to block his elbow strike, as they both jump backwards, then immediately rush forwards, cocking their hand backwards as their two fists collided with each other, making huge wind pressure, shattering several of the larger rock structures that are in the area of the training field. Izuku used the new debris and jumped backwards while controlling the debris with his telekinesis and shot them towards Connor. Connor uses heat vision at several of the debris that were heading into his direction. Izuku maneuvered around the heat vision and flying debris and head towards Connor and landing a uppercut strike on Superboy, making him go flying upwards in the sky, as Izuku appeared right above Connor and slammed his foot into Superboy's gut, making him shoot downwards, crashing into the ground as the dust is concealing Connor's body. Izuku knows for a fact a love tap like that wouldn't cause a Kryptonian any serious damage. He was not fooled, not one bit. Izuku doesn't need to know where Superboy is. Izuku yanked Connor out of the dust cloud with his telekinesis and slammed his right in a right hook across Superboy's face, making him go flying backwards into several of the bigger rock structures. Connor is just laying in the man-made mountain. I'll be damned, kid. You're good. Real good. This is just awesome. I haven't had a fight like this since my time during my early years in Young Justice, that telekinesis is no joke. He's pretty good to use it in the way he has been using it. Superboy jumped out of the rock structure that he was engulfed in. As Connor began to stretch out his arms while walking towards his opponent. Not bad. Now that I'm good and warmed up, now I finally could get really into the battle. As Connor blitzed towards Izuku with insane speed, and land several left and right hooks, making Izuku go flying backwards while Connor is continuously to land left and right hooks across Izuku's face, while Izuku was flying backwards from Superboy's attack, beginning attack. Izuku managed to block one of Connor's strikes and did a side spin backhand, hitting Connor in the face, then followed up with a vicious knee in the gut, then a palm strike across the right side of Connor's face, followed up by a telekinesis throw, thrusting Connor into several rock structures. Holy shit. I knew Izuku was powerful, but I didn't think he was that powerful. Wow, Momo, that's the first time I ever heard you swear. Momo was quite embarrassed by her slip-up. Her mother would have scolded her if she heard her talk that way. Couldn't help but giggle at Momo's embarrassment. She likes teasing people now she finally had the opportunity to tease Momo. She's normally very collective and reserved, so she's enjoying herself right now. But you're not wrong there, Momo. I knew Izuku was powerful, but to go against someone like Superboy and able to match Superboy strike by strike, one after another, it's quite insane. When give me a second, guys. Comes to terms of power, he would definitely be Justice League material. Only why the League hasn't approached him to join is because of his age. That's why we created the Young Justice. The Justice League has two separate younger hero teams, the Teen Titans. Then you have the Justice League. Once you go through the process, it will be easier for you to adjust to the transition from Young Justice to the League, if you ever get accepted. And when it comes to Izuku, I don't see that kid just sticking with Japan. He likes fighting too much. I don't see him being stuck in one country. Everyone didn't really have everyone didn't know how to respond to that. So they kept quiet and watched the fight on the monitors. Connor gets yanked towards Izuku, only to see Izuku jump in the middle of the air and land a downward spin kick that forced Connor to hit the ground, making a major-sized crater in the ground. Shit. As Izuku get hit by Connor's heat vision, making Izuku go flying backwards. When he landed in a spin. Then when Connor approached, Izuku threw out a kick at Connor, only for Izuku to get hit by another wave of heat vision, point blank range. Heat vision is forcing him flying backwards. Izuku noticed a large rock structure approaching. He had to spin his body to stop himself from slamming into the very hard rock surface that he was heading into. As he watches the heat vision that he got hit prior slam into the rock structure, making two good size holes into the rock from the heat vision, Izuku flew towards Connor, and Connor did the same as they exchanged blows with each other in the middle there as they're flying around, making shock waves and loud boom noise as their strikes collided with each other. Connor managed to block an incoming fist that was about to hit his face. That kid, you're pretty good, but you still got a lot of things to learn. As Connor dodged a left hook, then grabbed onto Izuku's left arm, then positioned it behind his back. Then Connor immediately flew downwards, crashing Izuku's face into the ground. Thing Izuku could do in this current situation is to supercharge his body with his bioelectricity, shocking Superboy, making Connor immediately jump backwards as he checked his jacket to make sure it's alright. It's smoking, but luckily it wasn't fried by the electricity the boy just demonstrated out of nowhere. Easy there, Sparky. That would have been painful if I didn't back off as soon as I did. My hands are still numb from that. What the hell, kid? Electricity, too? Don't you have an interesting power set? What the hell are you, anyways? You could just simply smirk at Connor. Izuku stretch out his left arm from the hold Superboy had on him as he gets the feeling back into his arm. It's called bioelectricity. I use my bioelectricity out of your nifty little hold you had me in. Quite useful ability, but it's highly dangerous. Body is able to withstand that volume of voltage, but if I used that on anyone else, they would have died instantly. It's easy to kill someone with a bioelectricity attack like that. Of course, any power could be used to kill someone if you use it a certain way. Same thing with my telekinesis. Any superpower can be used in a lethal way. Wrong there, kid. For what I am, I'm an Esper. I believe I heard Canary mention that before. Never fought an Esper before. So I can't really gauge the Esper's abilities, but you're one powerful Esper. I'll give you that. What's your name? Canary told me, but I totally forgot. As he scratched the back of his neck with a nervous laugh. Izuku Midoriya. Like I said, Izuku, I'm really bad with names. I believe Black Canary did tell me your name. I just mostly blocked whatever she said. She's quite annoying sometimes. As Connor laughs nervously still, scratching the back of his neck still with his right arm, Connor is very grateful that Black Canary doesn't have super hearing, or he would be in trouble. Fortunately for Connor, Black Canary can't hear what they're saying, but unfortunately for Connor, she can read lips, so she knows exactly what Connor is saying, as she has a tick mark on her forehead, while staring daggers at the monitor, looking at Connor. Gotta say, you Kryptonians are no joke. Not the first time I've heard that. I could sense you're holding back during our little spar. Much as I would like to take credit from that, unfortunately, I'm not holding back intentionally. I still haven't mastered my strength since my body was modified. It's a learning process. Pulled out more strength in this battle than the last one. Luckily, I didn't break my arm this time around. My body might be modified to my impressive physical strength, but if I use too much all at once, my bones can't withstand, and eventually they would break. Even with my modified body, I still have limits. I'm still learning. I'm quite impressed, Izuku. You already figured out that your limits. Most people in your position would have never thought of it. They would allow their power to get to their head. I know I'm powerful, but I would never allow myself to allow my power to get to my head. If I did that, I would make mistakes, and when I make mistakes, people die. Time in Gotham has taught me there's always someone more powerful. Wise word, kid. Wise words. Thanks for the fight, Izuku. We'll have to do this again sometime. I need to head back to work. See you around. I'm quite interested in this sports festival thing. I might check it out. Later, as Connor walks away, Connor was walking out of the training area, only to get stopped by Superman that was watching the fight. Hope you realize Black Canary can read lips. Shitting me? Damn it. I'm gonna get a lecture. I just know it. That you are, kid. So what do you think about him? Izuku. Intelligent, quite smart, and able to come up with strategies on the fly in the midst of battle. Izuku is quite talented. I can see why Batman's keeping an eye on him. I agree, I had a brief encounter with him when he was under mind control. He left a impression on me. Not surprising, Bruce. Keeping tabs on him, that's what he does. I definitely want him on the roster of Young Justice. He would be a good addition to the team. Definitely do that in the future, but not at this current time. He's still first year. I believe this academy has 3 years in total. Actually, it's 4 years. It used to be 3, but they changed it up a couple years ago. It's good to see you again, Superman. Now, Connor, we're going to have a long conversation on bad manners. I don't want you to influence me, Izuku, in any way. He's one of the good students, one of few good students that I have in my class. I don't want him to be corrupted by your delinquent ways. Do I make myself clear? You're more of a delinquent than I am, Canary. I make myself clear, Connor. Connor shrugged. Yes, ma'am. A good boy. You have somewhere to be? Yes, ma'am. Why do I feel like I'm still her student all over again? As Connor grumbles and walks away. For Clark to burst up laughing at their interaction. You still know how to ring him in. Connor might be a smartass and rebellious, but he's a good guy at heart. I trained him. I take it you're here to help Bruce? He's my assistant, tracking down the young man he came across, named Accelerator. Principal Nezu sent the intel. I do appreciate the intel from the principal. It's been a great help. He might be a crafty one, and he outright scares me sometimes. But he has good intentions at least, despite not being human. I believe he's some sort of chimera. Just keep that psychopath away from my student, this Accelerator. I don't want them to cross paths. God knows what will happen if two overpowered espers clash with each other. I have no doubt their clash will be devastating if those two powerful espers cross paths. I'll keep that in mind moving forward. Canary. Get back to the rest of my students. They're about to start their training for the upcoming sports festival. A teacher's job is never done. See you around. Tell Batman to take a vacation. He works way too much. Maybe he'll do less brooding if he actually took a break. If only that was the case. I've been trying to get him to go on a vacation for years now. I'll catch you later. As Superman took flight and head back to Bruce's temporary base in Japan, a black canary went back into the observing area and continued to watch her class begin training. And she gave out some tips while watching them. Izuku decided to take a break and walk around campus. After a good amount of time, Izuku eventually decided to leave Yue and take a stroll on the streets. Izuku knows at this current time Ivy and Harley are at work, currently, so he had a day to himself. His classmates are too busy getting ready for the sports festival, so he's going to have to go solo around the city. Izuku stopped at a local arcade in Hosu City. Not even an hour passed. He was interrupted by sounds of screams from outside of the arcade. Just ignore it, Izuku. Just mind your own business. Izuku tried to continue to play the arcade game until the volume of screams increased. Izuku stopped moving his character on the video game. God damn it. Izuku turned around and headed out of the side of the arcade to see what the hell is going on. Izuku sees several villains just causing mass havoc for no reason, using their quirks to damage the buildings on the side of the street, even attacking civilians when they spot them. Izuku can tell these villains are out of their goddamn minds. They're just attacking with no purpose that he could see. They're not even trying to rob people. They're just causing chaos for chaos' sake. Izuku approached the very high villains that are currently under the influence of Trigger. It's a very potent drug for quirk users. Trigger increases the power of their quirks and their abilities, but leaves whoever takes the drug very unstable when you use the stuff for a long term. The longer you're on the drug, the more unbalanced, unstable you become. Izuku watched one of them take out something out of their pocket and jam it into their neck as the villain takes another dose of Trigger. What the hell? This Trigger is awesome. Let's destroy more shit. I'm having so much fun. After Izuku observed the unhinged villains and learned they're under the influence of something called trigger that makes quirks more powerful, but the negative effects are quite nasty over time. It will start to affect the user mind and make them unhinged and violent. The use become more prominent for long periods of time. Okay, Izuku, you got this. There's 3 supercharged villains that clearly are on trigger. The weakest one I see is the water user. The only one able to shoot out high condensed water shots from her fingers. It looks like from that little display she gave out, she's able to create water through the moisture in the air. Then you have the second villain, has some sort of crystal quirk. What I can understand about the quirk from analyzing it, it seems like she's able to cover her skin with crystal and shoot out shards of crystal from any part of her body. And the last one can be a bit more tougher to take down. She's clearly the strongest villain among them. She has a quite impressive telekinesis quirk, and she's clearly been supercharged, probably for a very long time, judging from the rings rings under her eyes. It looks like she hasn't slept in a couple of days. Izuku could tell she's extremely powerful while she's on trigger. I'm going to have to take her out last. She's probably the only one that I'm going to have trouble with. Let's get this done. For me, I technically don't have a quirk, so I won't be breaking any of those laws. Gotta love loopholes. Izuku approached the 3 female villains, causing mass havoc on the street. Izuku tossed the water villain into a brick wall, knocking her out immediately, and ran towards the villain that has a crystal quirk before she could activate her crystal armor. He rammed his right fist into her gut, knocking her out instantly. Izuku immediately spun around to throw the last one with his telekinesis, but the last villain caught on what he was doing as she did the same, as they're in a telekinesis struggle, as they're both telekinesis are colliding with each other, as they're both struggling, as they both get pushed back from their telekinesis fight. Izuku had to break off his psychic struggle by several incoming cars that are flying towards Izuku's direction. Izuku managed to catch one of the flying cars and slide them to the side. He saw the last car coming his way. The car was heading towards a civilian, a woman holding a child in her arms. Izuku barely stopped the car mere inches away from the woman's face, as he slid the car to the side of the road, only to get thrown into a window of a local bakery that was near the arcade by the villain's telekinesis. Izuku flew right into the glass of the shop. Sorry about the window. Izuku took out some money and put it on the counter when he took out his pocket of his jacket and basically placed it on the counter of the bakery shop. Cover most of the cost of your broken window. I do apologize. After saying that, Izuku calmly walked out of the bakery shop. He immediately caught up with his opponent with his telekinesis and slammed her against a cargo container that's on the side of one of the buildings. Luckily for Izuku, part of Hosu City, they don't get patrol cars from the police station very often. So there's no police officers or heroes on site currently. That might change if the battle becomes drawn out any good length of time. No, that wasn't very nice. Damn, Ridley, you're kind of cute. Allow me to pay you back. As she tossed Izuku with her telekinesis into several parked vehicles, as she ping-ponged Izuku against several vehicles that are parked on the street, you got tired getting flung around like a rag doll. He immediately teleported right behind her and placed his hand over her face, immediately using her bioelectricity to shock her until she fell unconscious. Izuku took his hand off of the villain's face as she fell to the ground unconscious, basically. He caught her before she fell and placed her gently on the ground. Izuku can hear police sirens in the distance heading towards his location. Izuku immediately teleported away. He doesn't want to have a friendly talk with the local police chief. He's heard he's very strict when it comes to court laws. He doesn't really want to deal with it. When the patrol car got to the location, they only saw 3 unconscious villains. Are very well-known villains. They're not like on All Might's, no, they're not on All for One's level, but they're like right in the middle. Very well-known villain team. The police officers on site could tell there was some sort of battle. Izuku was long gone when they got there. Only thing linking Izuku to the scene is the footage from the bakery. Izuku reappeared somewhere in the vast forest, somewhere in Japan. I teleported further than I wanted. That only means I should be able to travel in long distance using the sub-ability from my telekinesis to teleport. Only problem, I can't control the distance to where I teleport to. I'm going to have to train that at some point. Izuku was broken out of his thoughts about his teleportation ability. He found himself in the middle of a hero and a villain fight in the middle of the forest. Izuku had to duck under Muscular's fist, leaving our green hair Esper to jump backwards, right beside Hawks. That's been tasked to take down Muscular, basically kill him, by the safety committee. Know who you are, but I do appreciate the backup. Your teleportation quirk will come in handy. Or to burst your bubble, but I don't have a quirk. Hawk was about to ask what he was talking about. I'll make this brief. My name is Izuku Midoriya, and I'm an Esper. Let's just leave it at that. As Hawk smirks at Izuku, that's even better. I've heard from the safety committee about you. That the one Esper that's attending UA. Seems like I've been. It seems like I'm popular nowadays. Quite the topic back at the office. The safety committee has been interested in your activities. But let's stop idle chatter for now, and let's take out this villain. I'm ordered to kill this villain. Do you have any problem with that? That's on you. I have no problem with it. I know some villains need to be put down. If you find this one to be such a case, then go for it. I won't stop you. This job got a whole lot more interesting. It's been a while, kid. Hope you're done with your little pep talk with Hawks over there. We need to stop meeting like this. People will start asking questions. By your fancy wings, you are able to fly. I take it. You take the air, I'll take the ground. Got it. As Hawks took flight, while Izuku charged Muscular met him halfway, as their fists collided with each other. Izuku saw the incoming feathers heading towards the oversized musclehead. He increased the speed of the feathers with his telekinesis and making it fly faster towards Muscular, forcing Muscular to activate his muscle fibers. As the feathers gets reflected and shot into several trees, going through a couple trees. Hawks couldn't help but be impressed by Izuku. He normally wouldn't be able to do that. His feathers don't fly that fast and that hard, piercing through several trees. Hawks watched Izuku get struck across the face, making him go sliding backwards as Izuku slammed his fist into the ground to stop his momentum. Hawks shot out more feathers from behind Muscular, trying to hit his back to find a weak spot in his muscle fibers. Izuku stopped moving. He extended his hand outwards to his side and yanked out hundreds of trees from the ground and tossed them forward towards Muscular. As the trees began to barbar Muscular, forcing Muscular to punch through the trees. Even with his muscle fibers, the trees are slamming into him. Still hurt. His eyes widen, seeing the gape of his power, as he stares up to see about 200 floating boulders. Holy shit. Dang, we're on the same side, because I would be in trouble. Hate to be Muscular right now. Izuku clenched both of his fists. The boulders rained down upon Muscular. There were too many for Muscular to reflect, including trees still heading towards his direction. He's being attacked by trees and rocks from the ground and from the air. He's having a bad day. As the bombardment of trees and rocks rained down upon Muscular, Izuku's eyes overshadow his eyes as he's breathing heavy. I'm not done yet, Muscular. I'm only getting started. As he grabbed hold on the whole mountain with his telekinesis, as the whole mountain is sliding on the ground towards Muscular in a rapid speed. Wasn't for Gary opening a portal before the mountain hit Muscular, he would have been dead on the spot. Hawks descent down and stand in front of Izuku. Dude, that was gnarly. You're one scary kid. Moving a whole fucking mountain. Now that was insane. Seems like the villain managed to escape. Seems like my mission failed. The high up the problem is going to be pissed. Most likely, but it doesn't really matter. I really don't care at the moment. Thanks for the assist. You good, Izuku? Good. I'm just a bit winded. I've never used so much of my telekinesis all at once. Just give me a few minutes. I should be able to move then. Tough bastard. You don't need to worry. I won't inform the safety committee of your involvement. You're already on their radar. Good luck in the sports festival. I'm rooting for you, kid. As Hawks flies away, head back to the city. It's already beginning to get dark. Izuku had enough energy to fly back. He can't use any big attacks with his telekinesis, but flying, that's manageable with his current strength. Did you get everything during the battle, Miss Toga? Aye, Captain. I got everything, Gary. That was so exciting. We're very fortunate this time getting intel on the young man. Master has been concerned he might become a bigger threat that we have to deal with sooner or later. Any intel on the young man is better than none. Tape, please. Took a hand over the tape of the footage of the fight with Muscular, and handed it over to Gary. Most appreciated, dear. Let's head back to the bar. Master will be quite pleased. Our mission was not successful, but we got some very important intel. Hopefully Master will be pleased. Izuku floated down in his backyard. Luckily for him, no one's home yet. Izuku's in the clear, as he cleaned himself up by taking a shower and getting a clean pair of clothes. Luckily for his battle with Muscular, and his little encounter with the other villains hasn't been broadcast on the news. Izuku suspects the Hero Agency is suppressing the information. As we cut to an unknown part of Hosu City, you see Accelerator sitting on a wooden crate in the middle of a room with scattered dead bodies all around him at some sort of warehouse. I suggest you walk out of the shadows before I kill you, whoever you are. Shrugged his shoulders when he walked out of the shadows. What the hell do you want? I'm not a very patient guy. My boss sent me over here to send you a offering to join our little organization. He finds your abilities to be quite powerful. You would be a good addition to the League. Not interested, Stygius. That's a shame. I guess I'll have to fight the Esper in your stead, as Dobby begins to walk away. Accelerator roughly grabbed onto Dobby's shoulder and spinning him around, and grabbed him by the neck and lifted him up in the middle of the air. Say that again, Stygius. You're a friendly one. Release me and put me down, and I'll tell you all about it. What do you say, Accelerator? Very well, but if you're lying to me, Stygius, I'll kill you. And it'll be really easy. I'm part of a group of villains that call themselves the League of Villains. Love for short. And we came across a very powerful Esper, according to our intel I got from the boss man. His name is Izuku Midoriya. Dobby handed a picture over Izuku to Accelerator. Interesting. I'll speak to your boss. I have conditions, of course. But you have piqued my interest, Stygius. Lead the way. After Dobby took out his phone and made a quick phone call, a black portal appeared in the middle of the warehouse. Accelerator put his hands in his pockets and walked through the portal, found himself in an unknown location, staring towards All For One, hooked up to a bunch of medical equipment, sitting on a chair. Excellent work, Dobby. You may leave. When his servant left through a portal, I'm glad you're willing to meet me, Accelerator. Your rampage through Hosu City caught my eye. I have no interest in joining your little group of 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 weaklings. But I do have an interest in fighting this Esper, known as Izuku Midoriya. You must understand, I have my own pride. I will not be joining as your servant on your little team. But I'm willing to ally myself with you. Those are my conditions, boss man. Take it or leave it. Doesn't matter what you say in the long run, I'll be fighting him regardless. The only question is, you're gonna work with me or you're gonna work against me. And when people work against me, they don't live long. Aren't you a cocky one? I suppose we could work out a deal. That would be the best course of action. Accelerator, very well. I'll inform the rest of the league of current events. I'll pass the information to my apprentice. I look forward to working with you, Accelerator. We'll find you in a couple days. As a portal opens up, as Accelerator walks out without saying a word. Kirigiri teleported Accelerator away. He approached his master and kneeled down on one knee. Do all for one. And present the tape of Hawks' fight. Hawks' and Izuku fight with Muscular. Ron took the tape and immediately went over the footage that was on the recording. Once that was done, he transferred it digitally and observed the fight very closely for several hours. As All For One clearly sees Izuku as a threat, but he does respect his mastery of his powers and the level he has it at. Accelerator exited the portal to the old warehouse, where he was prior, before his little visit from Dabi. Izuku Midoriya, I can't wait for our clash. It's going to be something special. I can feel it in my gut. I'll play ball with this league of villains for the time being, and when they live out their usefulness, I'll kill them. Especially that bastard All For One. I don't like him. Not one bit. Superboy came flying through the window of the warehouse and sliding across the pavement right in front of him, right in front of the Accelerator. Found you, kid. Why don't you come quietly and I don't have to hurt you? You caught me in a good mood, whoever you are. So I will allow you to leave with your life. So, move. Pretty big word for a runt. I hate people like you, the arrogant, smart-ass type. That's my job. If you won't leave willingly, then I'll have to force you. And that I find, and that's the fun option, really. If you're smart, you would leave on your own. But I'm not a nice guy. And Superboy rushed towards the Accelerator. Accelerator ducked under his fist and struck Superboy in the chest with his right fist, making Connor fly out of the warehouse. Accelerator calmly walked out of the warehouse with his hands in his pocket and watched Superboy get to his feet as he moved some rubble off of him, from the top of him, when he crashed through one of the buildings across the street from the warehouse and made his way over to Accelerator. As the Accelerator, while watching Superboy, has a smirk on his face. You're definitely going to be a good punching bag. I guess I could play with you for a little bit. Accelerator walked towards a parked car and began kicking them towards Superboy, one after another, forcing him to either dodge or punch the car out of the way. Accelerator shot a less powerful plasma from his hands, blasting towards Connor. As Connor gets hit by a barrage of plasma shots, forcing him to fly into a gas station. As Accelerator shot out another plasma shot, making the gas station blow up. The station blow up from the small shots of plasma that Accelerator shot out. On his way to the gas station, Connor flew through several cars on his way. Accelerator didn't stay idle for long, as a huge wind vortex appeared above the burning gas station as a ray of plasma shot downwards. Connor looked up to see the shooting plasma downward to him as Connor pretty much panicked. This is gonna hurt. As he prepared himself from the incoming attack, as the burning gas station get engulfed in the huge plasma shot, making the whole area disappear, as there is a huge hole where the gas station used to be. Accelerator walked away from his handiwork. Connor is on the bottom of the hole, injured from that powerful attack, as Connor falls unconscious. And that's where we're going to leave it. Hope you guys have a good night and day, judging by time zones, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.